and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to show you guys the secrets to my 5-minute makeup. This is what it looks like as the finished product. I love this makeup. I wear it all the time when I'm going grocery shopping. In fact, I'm going grocery shopping when I'm done filming this video. But it is so simple. It uses a big mix of drugstore and higher end products. There's about 10 products that I use for this. Everything is up for debate on what you want to use. There are lots of different dupes and stuff that you can use for these products, and I'm sure you already have a lot of these as well, or they're very easy to obtain. But this is very, very simple, and if you want to see how I do my 5-minute makeup every day, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I've already done my skincare. That's not really a part of my 5-minute makeup. What I'm going to use next, this CoverGirl True Blend Base Business Skin Primer. This I just recently started using, but I really liked it, especially for an everyday primer, because when you're in a rush and you're not like trying to apply makeup extremely perfectly, I don't know, for some reason it's just, I like to use a cheaper primer for that 5-minute face when I'm like running errands and stuff. So this I just put along and I apply to the center of my face and spread it outwards, only because I have large pores and I tend to be really oily here, so I like to put like a skin smoothing primer in the center and smooth it out to the sides of my face. For foundation, I use my all-time favorite foundation, which is, you guys should probably know by now, the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. There is just something about this that does such a good job covering my skin. Like, look at that. I love that. And it does oxidize, so right now it looks really light. It is going to darken up a little bit. So if you've never tried it before, definitely, I went like a shade or two down because it oxidizes quite a bit. And if you go with the shade that you think is going to work for you, that matches your skin in store, if you're trying it, it's going to oxidize a lot darker. Like, you'll see it start to blend in really easily. But I just love this foundation. I love the way that it covers my skin so easily. And I usually start with it on the outer edges of my face because it is so full coverage that it will look cakey if I apply it directly to my pores. So yeah, and I do use the IT Cosmetics blending sponge. No, this is the Real Techniques blending sponge, not IT Cosmetics. And yeah, I really love this sponge. Is my all-time favorite. It costs like, I don't know, it's less than $10, and it's just as good as the original Beauty Blender. And I always use it a little bit damp. Today it's not as damp because I'm kind of running behind. So I'm trying to get this makeup done on time. And next, what I'm going to use, I love this for a 5-minute face because it's so affordable. It's the Kiss New York Professional Pro Touch Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Invisible, so it's kind of a white. Because I'm so pale, I use it. They do have a yellow toned one that is the exact same thing, just if you have darker skin tone, that will be the one that works for you. So I just set my under eye, and this helps brighten my under eye, but it also helps set my foundation so that it doesn't crease during the day. And because I do have such oily skin, it's super helpful, and it just basically dissolves the oil when it comes up. It just soaks it right up, and I don't have any problem having any sort of oily skin throughout the day. And that's super easy to just use that blending sponge to blend it out. I find that's a lot better if you're just doing a 5-minute makeup look versus using a brush. If you're going to use a brush, that's, to me, it's for more like a full coverage look. And this is just helping us set. So I just do my T-zone, definitely my forehead. I get so oily on my forehead. And this powder, this honestly works really well, even though it's drugstore. Like, I very rarely find a good setting powder that's drugstore. And I really like this one. This next product is a little bit more higher end, but I think it's so worth it, especially for my skin tone, this specific one. This is the Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in Pearl. So it's just like basically white, but it looks so good. The only issue with it is that you have to be so careful and apply it with a light hand. Otherwise, you're going to see exactly where you left that highlighter, but it looks so good. And it depends on if I have a spray tan or not. I will either use the pearl or I use the I think it's the champagne color. So it just depends on how my skin is. I haven't done a spray tan in almost 2 weeks, so yeah. But I love a nice glow. The thing about 5-minute makeup for me is my skin has to look beautiful. I don't really care too much about my eyebrows or my eyelids or whatever eyeshadow, but my skin has to look glowing. Obviously a good skincare routine will help a lot with that, but I love to do a nice highlight on my cheekbones just to make it look like I have a glowing skin. And this brush I'm using is the Bobal E2 fan brush. Love this fan brush. Never was a big fan of fan brushes, and I've just really enjoyed using this one. And then my next product that I use for my 5-minute face is the Hoola bronzer from Benefit Cosmetics. This is my all-time favorite bronzer, and I love to use my Sigma large angle contour brush. It's the F40. This contour brush is like, I've never found one that works better for my skin. So I'm not like contouring, I'm just adding a little definition because my skin can look like, my face looks kind of rounded without it. And it just kind of gives a little bit of definition, and I just sort of like blend it nicely. Just, you can see it adds just that nice definition versus on this side where there's not really anything. And next I use my NARS Orgasm blush. This is the best blush I've ever used. I just recently got it actually, and I love it. And honestly, this is one of those things that I just think there aren't that great of dupes for. You just have to get the original thing. And like I said, you don't have to like use every single product I do, but just to get an idea of how I do my 5-minute face, these are the products that I use. And I love this blush. There's nothing like it. If you're gonna splurge on something, it's gotta be this, because this is just hands down so beautiful. It is the perfect daytime blush. Yeah, so that's all I do for my skincare, and then I'm obviously going to set it, but I'm not going to do that until the very end. So for the brows, we don't want to do anything that's going to take too much time, because obviously this is meant to be a 5-minute face, so there's not going to be any sort of carving out of your brows or anything like that. So what I'm taking is my Goof Proof Brow Pencil from Benefit. I just love this pencil because it is so easy to get a nice shape in your brow. I can't go without doing a little something to my brow, even if I only have a few minutes. So I'm taking this. This is in the shade number 2. And I'm just taking this and I'm just going to create some definition, not a whole lot, but fill in my brows where it needs to be. And this pencil is seriously so easy, like just a couple swipes and your brows have a nice natural fill, and I love it. Like, it's just that easy. And then what I do as well, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it since we didn't do too much to our brows, is I take Benefit's 24-hour brow setter and I just sort of swipe those hairs into place, and just it keeps that nice shape going all day long, even though we didn't use that much product to get there. Okay, so being that this is a 5-minute face, we don't really have a whole lot of time to do our eyes, so I'm literally taking my Benefit Hoola bronzer. I love this on my eyes as an everyday color. So we're gonna start by just taking it into the crease. I'm not using any primer or anything. I'm taking a light hand and blending that into the crease. I just want a little bit of definition. Even though I have really big eyes, they need some kind of definition throughout the day. So I'm just taking this, I am blending it in my crease, but also dragging it down to the lid and blending it up towards my brow bone. This is just going to give me the slightest bit of definition that I need to bring out my eyes a little bit. I mean, I feel like you can already see the difference just a tad with each eye, but I'm going in and I just lightly build that up. And what's really nice about this technique is that if you're traveling, you don't even have to bring an eyeshadow palette, because the bronzer works really, really nicely as that shade, and that's literally the only shade that I'm going to use all over my lid and my eye. I am going to also highlight my brow bone. So I'm going to take that same highlighter that I used in the beginning on my face and lightly just highlight my brow bone. This is just gonna like awaken your eyes. And go in with a very light hand with these because they are very pigmented, so you don't want anything too crazy. I'm also going to take that Hoola bronzer and I'm going to just drag it on my lower lash line to create a little bit of depth. And again, just adding some contour to my eye because my eyes are so big that I need to like define them a little bit. Okay, so now that the shadow is done, this next step is completely optional. You don't have to do this, but I do it because like I said, my eyes are so rounded and big that I have to do something with them. So what I do is I take a black pencil liner. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil. You don't have to use this exact one, obviously. I just like this because it doesn't smudge very easily. So it's really good, especially when I have allergies and my eyes are watering like crazy. All I do is just kind of darken out the outer corner. And I do that on obviously both eyes. And then I kind of do the upper waterline a little bit on the outer corner to add some definition and depth. And I'm going to take a brush. It's probably best to use an angle brush, but I'm just using the same one I did my highlighter with. And I just kind of like smudge it out a little on my outer corner. Helps blend it just a tad. It adds nice definition to the eyes. And then finally, our last few steps. I like to take a waterproof lash mascara because I have really runny eyes a lot of the time and I definitely need a waterproof one. So I use the L'Oreal Waterproof Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. This is probably one of my favorites. And I'm just going to, I like to focus on the outer lashes of my eye because I think it helps lift my eyes up a little bit. Especially because there's not much makeup going on here and I like to add some definition to these big round eyes. And look at the difference of that and that. I mean, seriously, just a couple strokes of this mascara. I don't ever have issues with it smudging or anything. I love this mascara. I highly recommend this for brides. I use this on my brides all the time. And it just looks so nice. And it looks really good when you do the lower lashes. That's what I'm also going to do. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. It's all done. And then the last thing obviously is optional, but I can't go without a lip color. My lips are so pale as it is. So my favorite one of my favorite lip products for just an everyday use is the Doll 10 Girl Code Lip Gloss. This stays on so long. I mean, I'm talking, I can do a 5-hour wedding party and never have to reapply. And I love the color of this. And they have lots of different colors, but Girl Code is my favorite. Something about a gloss to me is just perfect for everyday makeup. I mean, look how pigmented. That's just a gloss. I've had these for probably a couple weeks, and this is my first time, like this week was my first time using them, and I was pretty mad that I haven't been using them this whole time. But I love this color. It's so pretty. Again, this is their color in Girl Code. And I believe I have a 25% off, I think it's 25% off coupon for you guys if you want to order stuff from Doll 10. I don't get anything from it, just to be clear. I do work with them and I do get free products from them, but it's not like they're paying me or anything. So this is just me like saying, hey, do you want a discount? Here it is. I mean, there's no matte lipstick or lip liner or anything under it. And I'm not kidding when I say they last literally hours, like hours. So this last step I don't think should be optional. I think you should use this. So I'm going to set my makeup with my favorite setting spray, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter. If you have not tried this, your whole life is going to change when you do. This just sets your makeup all freaking day long. All day long. It's so amazing. I haven't found anything that works better for my skin at all. So that's all for my 5-minute makeup. I know this video was longer than 5 minutes, but for me to have to sit here and explain how and why I use every product, obviously it's going to be 5 minutes. But once you get used to this routine, literally this takes me 5 minutes. I do this every single day that I'm not doing a makeup look for YouTube or Instagram and I'm just running errands, or I just want to like look like I have my life together for 5 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel down below. I just hit 7,000 subscribers and I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about that. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, and if, of course, give it a thumbs down. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.